beautiful friends, it's Amanda's Hands here, and today we're doing another episode of BYOP with me, where I am going to put together a custom palette from some of my singles. I had a comment suggesting that I make a palette inspired by one of my favorite books. As you can see today, I have some of my Harry Potter books here. I love the Harry Potter series. I started reading it back in late 90s, early 2000s when the books were actually being released. It really was a pivotal time for me as somebody who loves reading, because these books really helped me fall in love with the magic of reading. I know that sounds corny. I don't care. It's true. And I know that we just saw some Harry Potter palettes come out at Ulta, and you know, a lot of people are not feeling like they want to give their money to Miss J.K. Rowling, which is totally understandable. I don't disagree with that at all in light of some pretty crappy things that she's been saying on Twitter. I still really love these stories, and they hold a special place for me as somebody who loves books and really connected with these books and this story. So instead of giving our money to Miss Rowling, we are going to use this beautiful cover art from the first 3 Harry Potter books to inspire a little palette of our own. This is great because it gets that creativity flowing, and ultimately it doesn't really matter which shades you choose, it doesn't matter which brands, it doesn't matter if I'm using things that are discontinued or you don't have. The point isn't to go out and buy these exact shades, but really just to inspire you to use the things you already have in your collection, to come up with some new combinations, play with your makeup, enjoy your makeup, and just seek inspiration wherever you can find it. So that's what we're gonna do today. A lot of the Harry Potter makeup and things like that are all focused on the houses, the Hogwarts houses. I really didn't want to go that direction. I just feel like there's enough of that in the world. So what I want to do is use the cover art from these 3 books to inspire the shades that I choose for my palette. I think that'll be fun. It'll be a new twist on the idea of a Harry Potter palette. And you know, this cover art is really, really beautiful. So here's the artist, Mary Grandpré. Sorry if I mispronounce your name, Mary, but I love your illustrations. They're so beautiful. I know that some of the titles are different in different countries, and I know that there have been many iterations of the illustrations. These are the old original books. I actually had to replace my year 2 book because I lent it out to somebody and I never got it back. But you can see these books are well worn, well loved, and I got this one from a secondhand store, a used bookstore here. So let's get started. I think I'm gonna do 3 rows of 4, 1 for each book. So let's start with the top row, and that will be inspired by the first book, The Sorcerer's Stone. I definitely want to hit a few elements here. The lettering on the spine and where it says Harry Potter on the cover are a metallic gold, so I know I want a metallic gold in this row. I also want to pull some of these warm kind of mustardy brown shades. We've got some really rich purple, so let's look for some of those elements and see how they come together for our Sorcerer's Stone row. I still have the sticky notes on my palettes from my random number generator video. I feel like I want to do that exercise again, so I just left the sticky notes on. Sorry if that's distracting. Alright, we're gonna find our golds here. And this lettering is a really bright, kind of lighter gold. It's not this antique, really yellowy gold. So I think something like this is gonna be perfect. I'm gonna pull this shade called Carrot Cake, and I really want one of these warm mustardy brown type of shades. Let's go for this one called Koi. I think this one's a little bit more orangey, but it might work for us. I definitely want to pull one of these rich royal purples. This one called Crown Jewel might be perfect. I'm not sure what I want to do for the last color here. I could go for one of these deeper brown shades to kind of ground this row, or I could go for this really deep blue that's almost purple. It's very iconic on the spine of the book here, And I'm not rushing to the red because I know we're going to have an opportunity for red in this palette with the other books. I think I'm gonna go back for one of these warm, deeper browns. I think this is gonna be great in this palette. I'm gonna grab this one called Top Notch. This is a really reliable matte shade. So this is what we have so far. I'm now gonna dive into book 2. And here we have the Chamber of Secrets. Got Fox the Phoenix here. Saving the day. So we definitely need to pull a red. I would love to get maybe a brighter, lighter yellow in this torch here and also reflected on the Phoenix's feathers. We do have some silver lettering. I think this could be a great element to pull in. And then maybe a green, since we have this kind of serpenty green going on, and that green also appears on the spine. So that's probably the colors that I'm going for with this book. So let's grab a red first. I'm gonna grab this red shade called Fortune Cookie. This really has that bright, saturated red shade that I'm looking for. So we'll go with that one. I'm gonna go for this silver shade called On a Whimsy. It does have a bit of a blue undertone, but I think it's gonna work really well for this palette. I know I want one of these rich greens. I'm automatically drawn to this one called Wishful Winking. It's a shifty shade, it has a brown to green sort of shift, and I think that magical quality is perfect for a Harry Potter palette, so let's grab that one. Lastly, I want a yellow shade. I think I want to go with kind of a brighter yellow instead of a mustardy yellow. Maybe something like this. I think this one called Tiki is really going to be perfect. So here is our palette, 2/3 finished, one book left. Our last book, book 3, is The Prisoner of Azkaban. We've got these really cool toned kind of blue grays happening juxtaposed with this peach background. We've got the bright green lettering, also a lot of purple in here. I know that I want to hit this mid-tone warm peach. I don't have a bright green shimmer like this, but a green shimmer could be a great option. And then I know I want to pull in a cool toned gray or maybe light blue into this palette as well. So let's just see. I'm the least certain of my direction for this one. Also, look at my matching nails. Wow. Okay, distraction. I'm immediately drawn to this shade, High Society. I think that just hits the nail on the head for this peachy shade, and it's just such a pretty metallic shimmer. So let's grab that one. I want a super, super gray shade. This one called Take the Lead is maybe a little bit warmer, but I think in the overall color scheme, it's gonna fit. Let's just pull that. We can always change our minds later if we want to. Do I have a green that I love for this? I'm kind of taking some liberties with this really pale green shimmer called Bashful because the metallic lettering on here is definitely a vibrant, bright, kind of emerald tone green, and this isn't similar, but I feel like it kind of captures the vibe. It does have these same tones that we're seeing here in the scroll, so you know, it's all just about being inspired. It doesn't have to be a perfect match. So let's grab Bashful. One shade left. What does this palette really need? I think we need a deep shade. Oh, you know what would be perfect for this palette? It's not a deep shade. Forget everything I just said. This shade called Glass Bull would be perfect. I'm convinced that this is perfect for this palette. I know I just said that I needed a deep shade, but come on. Okay, I want to rearrange the shades. I'm going to keep them in their same rows. I just want to play with the layout a little bit, and then we'll swatch the whole palette together and see how it looks. This is the layout that I landed on. I did keep each row intact. I just rearranged them a little bit. I really like to set up these 12 pan palettes so that the columns make interesting but easy to use little trios. Maybe some of these look like they would be weird trios, but I think they would make some really cute, quick and easy, but not necessarily the same old color combos. When I look at the palette with the books, I think it really does make sense, right? We kind of captured the spirit without just going for those primary red, yellow, blue, green, Hogwarts houses kind of colors, which there's nothing wrong with that. I just thought this would be a fun twist on that idea. So I'm going to show you the swatches of this palette in my studio lights. Sometimes this window sunlight situation can be a little tricky for the swatches and seeing my whole arm all at once. I really like the way this palette turned out. I think it has a good balance. This was a really fun little BYOP idea. Thank you to whoever left the comment and inspired me to do this. I definitely want to do a part 2 with the remaining 4 books. Maybe for that one we'll do the columns instead of the rows. That way we can still stick to the 12 pan format that I love so much. And let me know if you want to see any eye looks or anything with these palettes. Tutorials don't tend to perform great on my channel, which just lets me know that that's not what people are interested in seeing. But if you are interested in that, let me know. We can make that happen. I think that could be really fun too. Maybe I could do a little 3 looks, 1 palette with this, where I do 1 look for each book. That could be kind of fun. Could be a little bit of a challenge. So let me know if you would enjoy that. Let me know how you liked this Harry Potter book inspired BYOP. What do you want to see me do next? Do you think I should do the last 4 books? Are you not so much into it? I always love to hear what you guys think about things too, so let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! I love your face. Bye!